Today we are leaving China after 4 weeks and 6 cities. It is all over. And we thought this would be a great opportunity to answer your guys' questions about China, about visiting China, about our experiences in China. So we had you guys send in your questions via Instagram, and we're going to do our best to answer those as we go throughout the day. Our flight leaves in about 5-6 hours time, so we need to get a move on. Let's go.
Let's go.
It's another beautiful autumnal morning here in Beijing. So question number one is, would you go back in the next 2 years, or would you rather go somewhere else you haven't been?
Adam can answer this one because there's a bit of a backstory.
We actually haven't mentioned this in the entire China series. So we went to the Chinese visa center in London. The process itself, by the way, really simple. We did need a lot of documentation. We needed to prove every hotel we'd be staying at and every flight in and out. But once we did that and had all that paperwork together, it was so simple. We went in on a Wednesday morning and it was ready to pick up again by the Monday. The weird thing is, we thought we were going in just to get, you know, a 1 month, one-time use visa. So when I went to pick it up on the Monday, turned out somehow it's a 2-year multiple entry visa, which is not what we thought we were applying for, but
we were very happy about it.
Yeah, and it means that we do actually have to come back in the next 2 years, and we can come back as many times as we want, I think.
And so after this experience so far, we are so excited to head back out to China soon, or we don't really know when, but we've just realised how huge this country is. We've not even scratched the surface, and we've had the most incredible time. So yeah, we are 100% gonna come back, and we are already excited.
Next time we come back, definitely the more rural, more unexplored areas for sure. Coffee. I'm gonna miss this place so much.
I'm gonna miss ordering on WeChat. What do you want, Americano pomelo?
Yes, please.
Your weirdo choice?
Yes. Damn, they are busy today.
They are busy every day, not just today, every day.
We are order number 574. They are currently on order 554.
Whoa.
But I think this is a testament to how good their coffee is, because they are really in demand here, much more than Manna or Starbucks or any of the other chains. Okay, here we go. Let's savor this. Cheers. Just hits so different to any other coffee.
Never gets old, does it?
What do they put in here? Crack? Okay, question number 2. What would be your top things to do and see if you only have 2 weeks? Well, that depends on how much you like moving around constantly and frequently.
That's true, because we've done a lot of moving around in 3.5 to 4 weeks. Although I must say, I think we have carved out almost the perfect itinerary for first-time China travellers. I really do. Honestly, it's been perfect.
First and foremost, Beijing, Great Wall of China, non-negotiable.
Yes.
Absolute non-negotiable. We can only work off of what we've done, guys. So Beijing, Great Wall, non-negotiable. Shanghai, beautiful city, take it or leave it. I wouldn't go out of your way to go there.
But I just want to say, if you like Disneyland, then definitely go to that one, because apparently it's got the biggest castle, it's the biggest park in the world, and also it's got a different vibe to what you might be used to. So I would definitely check that out if you like rides.
That's right. Wuhan, one of the biggest highlights, I would say.
So good.
One of the biggest surprises as well.
Yeah.
So wouldn't miss that if you can make it there. Chongqing, really cool. Also some good nightlife there. We had a really cool beer museum bar that we went to.
Chongqing is a must. Such an incredible city.
And then Chengdu, can't miss Chengdu. The pandas, the city itself is a perfect blend of the old and the new.
Yeah.
So good. Really good vibe there.
Highly recommend Chengdu.
That sounds like a lot over 2 weeks. So you'd probably be moving every 3 days, I would say, at the very least.
Yeah. If you had to scrap one place, maybe Shanghai, but it was still amazing, so I don't know. Alright,
well, sadly for us, the quickest and easiest vegan breakfast option in this part of Beijing at least is the Golden Arches. 4 hash brown and 2 Asian dough sticks.
So not proud of getting McDonald's for breakfast, and we have always been making the effort to go to get Chinese food most of the time. But you know, when we've got a plane to catch, we just want to make things super easy. This is so close to where we're staying, so.
Okay, questionable breakfast foods in the bag. We've got our coffee. Question number 3, does service similar like Uber exist there? Yes, it does, and we're literally about to order one to go to the airport. Okay, so when you come to China, you have to have the Alipay app, and that's what you're going to use to pay for 99.9% of things here in China. But there are also a bunch of really helpful mini apps on here too. So you can book your train, you can book your hotel. There's a translation app on here.
Oh wow, what?
We've been using Apple Translate this whole time. We could have just been using that.
Do you think it works though as well?
Anything works better than Apple Translate, trust me, after a month of using it. But there's also an app called Didi, which is essentially Uber in China. Main difference is it's a fraction of the price of Uber in Europe, in the US, and the UK. So I'm going to open the Didi app. I've got our location set already. And then for the destination, we're going to go to Daxing Airport. And that's going to come up with the cheapest fare of 88 yuan, which is
£8, $10 roughly.
For a 50-minute journey.
That's crazy.
Absolutely crazy. So everyone knows hash browns, they're always the same wherever you go. But this is what we go to McDonald's for here, because they're called Yu Chiao, I believe they're pronounced.
The Asian dough stick.
And it's so fluffy and crispy on the outside. It's so good. I think you're supposed to have it with soy milk, but today I just wanted to avoid having to go to the toilet as much as possible.
TMI.
All right, all packed, ready to go. Let's get in that Didi and get to the airport.
Let's do it.
Lovely, lovely hotel. The location could be slightly better, but the hotel itself, 10 out of 10. Really good. Here he is, Mr. Lee. Most of the time, whenever we get in one of these Didis, the driver always shouts something like Arja Arja. We have no idea what that means. It probably means get in already, get in, let's go. But most of them, like 99% of the Didis we've taken have all been electric. Even the ones long distance, like an hour and a half here and there, which is really surprising. I don't know where they're charging all of these electric cars. It blows my mind. So we've had a lot of questions coming in about the data situation, staying connected because of the firewall. And I'm glad to say we've had zero problems with any of that. All thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Olafly. One thing I hate is having to buy these data packages for me and Yaz, and then we run out of them, and then we have to buy another one to top that up, and another one, and before you know it, that one's gone too. So with Olafly, you just buy one eSIM for the duration of your stay. It is unlimited. You can use it as much as you want. Then if you decide that you're staying for a little bit longer, you just buy a top-up package for that remaining duration, and you've got unlimited data once again. And it is just so much easier than having to worry about getting a physical SIM card when you land at your destination. So whether you're going to Asia or to Europe or the Americas, you just buy the eSIM from Olafly, and then when you land in your destination, you've got fast, reliable data that you can actually use. We did ours in 2 minutes just before we left the UK. We installed it really quickly, so then it was ready and set up by the time we landed in China. One of the best parts is that we get to keep our regular SIM card from back home in here as well. They've got a really clean looking app that makes it really easy to manage your eSIMs, and they've got 24/7 customer support. So do yourself a favor, take the headache out of getting data for your travels. Check the link in the description below, or even better, just scan the QR code that's on the screen right now. Use our discount code to get 5% off your Olafly eSIM, and thank you so much, Olafly, for keeping us connected on the road. Okay, all checked in at Beijing Daxing Airport. Our gate is right behind us. Question number 5. How difficult was it to communicate, e.g. order food, as you don't speak Mandarin?
That was a challenge, but we did have a way to communicate. So that was through the Apple Translate app most of the time.
Apple Translate.
Yeah, so I would say like it was pretty successful. It just took a long time, obviously, to communicate things. Obviously, we don't speak Mandarin, so that's our own fault, but that definitely helped. So I'd say almost every single conversation we had was through Apple Translate.
There were a couple of times here and there where the server spoke really good English and we didn't necessarily need it. Some menus had English, a lot of them were mainly just Chinese. Street food stores especially, only Chinese, or 99%, so you have to use your Translate app to take a photo, let it translate it for you.
We got by like easy enough with the Translate. Things just was a lot slower. We need to go out for dinner before we get hungry.
That's so true. That is so true.
We need the buffer time to actually have the food at the table.
First, to find a place, that's the first trick, especially when you don't eat meat like we do. So we have it almost doubly as hard. So we have to find the place, and then we kind of have to communicate with them.
But overall, everyone was really patient as well, and actually really helpful. So, success.
All right, question number 6.
Please share about China immigration clearance process.
All right, so assuming this is about when we landed in China, not the visa process, we kind of already covered that. That was fairly simple. We got into Wuhan airport. It was kind of a long process only because the queue was long, the line was long. It was taking about 3 or 4 minutes to process each person, I would say.
I'd say longer.
A little bit longer, okay, yeah, I'm being a bit generous there. The people in front of us generally didn't have the correct paperwork, so they kept having to get sent back to the line and then back to the front of the line in front of us, so it wasn't really moving that much. If you had the correct paperwork like we did, your hotels that you're staying in, your flights in and out.
Everything printed. It takes about 2 minutes standing at the window. You have your photos, fingerprints, everything.
Number 7, was it easy to travel around to each place and did it cost much? It was easy to travel around, yes. Cost much? No. So we've been through DD already. Then the trains were ridiculously cheap for the most part. Depends what class you go in. So we went from Zhangjiajie to the city of Changsha on first class. It was only 2 hours, I think. It cost this much. Can't quite remember how much. But for the time and for the comfort, that was really, really worth it. We took a train last night from the Great Wall of China to Beijing North. It was 98p each for an hour and 20 minutes.
Yep.
Now granted, those were technically standing tickets, which means that there are no assigned seats. If there are seats, you can sit down. If there aren't, you have to stand up. For a ticket like that in the UK, that would be easily £25.
And the thing is, because it was 98p for an hour and 22 minutes, we were like, oh, it's going to be like an old rusty train kind of thing. It was a bullet train, so nice, so clean, so empty. So we sat down for the whole way, and it was so nice.
So question number 8, what was your least favorite experience? I'm gonna leave this to Az because I didn't think it was that bad personally, but she didn't have a great time with it.
I had some thought about this one, and I think I'm gonna say it was when we got the train from Chongqing to Zhangjiajie. Can never say that word. We kind of booked last minute. It was our fault. There was only soft sleeper or hard seating available, so we chose the soft sleeper. My expectations were not met. Basically, I didn't enjoy it because the train was super old, which, fair enough, it's old, there's nothing wrong with that, but it was so dirty. Honestly, there was just stuff all over the carpet. I don't know if we just got unlucky with this train. As soon as we walked onto the train, it was a really thick smell of cigarettes, so thick that you feel like you weren't even breathing in air anymore. I felt like I couldn't breathe, and there was a woman opposite us who was like sick, so she was laying there but masked, so we were panicking that we were going to catch something. So I was dying to get off the train. I'm sorry if this offends anyone, but this is my honest answer. That was probably my worst experience of the whole trip, and it lasted 6.5 hours. I can do budget, we can do budget, we've done it so many times, but please be clean.
There was a saving grace though. There was a lovely lady that was sharing that cabin with us.
Yeah.
She was so chatty, obviously through the Translate app, but she was so interested in us, where we come from, where we're going next. She was trying to give us tips on Zhangjiajie and the rest of China as well. She was absolutely lovely. So really glad that we got to meet her on that trip at least.
And she distracted me from what I was thinking inside, so yeah, no, I'm so glad that she was there to talk to us.
We've relocated because we were starting to lose your attention, weren't we? Number 8. No, we've done number 8. Number 9. What did you hate about China?
I think hate is a strong word
Exactly.
to start with. We didn't hate anything. We just liked a few things.
I think the main thing for the both of us, I think we've got the same thing in mind here. Obviously, there's cultural differences between the UK and China. Some things are less accepted in China than they are in the UK and vice versa. One of the things that we notice a lot is the amount of hawking and spitting on the streets and in public. In the UK, that is illegal. You can't spit on the streets.
We just didn't like it.
It's just not something that we expected in China. But of course, there are far worse things than that, and you kind of just get used to it over the 4 weeks that we were here. And question number 10, we've got a few of these as well. Is China safe? Did you feel safe? 110% yes. All around. Way safer than the UK for sure.
Oh my gosh.
One of the safest countries in Asia. I'm sure that that's in part due to the number of police, the number of cameras, but more so, they all just have a lot of respect for each other and tourists that come here as well.
Yeah, honestly felt so safe. Like, we could walk down the streets in the middle of the night and not worry at all. Everyone just is there to help you. Just never ever felt unsafe at all. There was actually only one time, and I don't even know if you'd class that as unsafe, but they've got in the Zhangjiajie National Park, you've got shuttle buses. They take you from point to point in the national park. They were driving so recklessly, and it was on like cliff edges as well, and also hairpin turns so fast. Some of the seatbelts weren't working. There was even locals, Chinese locals. One of them was trying to shout at the driver to say slow down. I was on the chair sweating. I was like, I really don't want to crash.
Yeah, so in terms of danger, the worst thing you're going to come across, I think, is the driving here. So there was that, but also when we were in Wuhan, we were in a mini crash ourselves in our DD. It was into a little lady on her scooter. She was fine, thankfully. It wasn't a big deal. We also saw 2 crashes after that one that we were in within 5 minutes.
2 or 3, I'd say.
Maybe it's a Wuhan specific thing. So boarding has just started. Yaz has got her snacks ready to go.
So basic.
And we have a bonus question. Favorite moment for each of you? Looks like you both had so much fun. Yesterday, I would have said everything was our favorite moment because everything was so good.
That's a cop-out answer.
Yeah, but yesterday we saw the Great Wall of China.
Yeah.
We went tobogganing down the Great Wall of China afterwards. It was so quiet. The weather was so perfect. It was the perfect way to round off the trip. It was, I hate this word, but it was magical. It was really, really magical. We literally couldn't have written a better ending to the China trip. If you haven't watched that video, make sure you go back and check it out.
I have so many amazing moments. That bar in Wuhan was so funny.
The Wuhan noodles. Oh my god.
Noodles.
I would go back to Wuhan just for the noodles.
I don't know if we really mentioned things that we really loved about China, so I'm going to add that in myself right here. So firstly, the people. There were a few times when we felt like we were a bit stuck and we couldn't communicate, or we were trying to figure out something on our phones or trying to get on a bus. If anyone was next to us, like a local who could speak English and they could see we're struggling, without a doubt they'd come up to us and help. They'd translate and speak in Chinese to the person in the restaurant or something like that. They'd always get us out of a sticky situation.
Yeah, we had that yesterday with a bus that we were trying to take to the wall, and we just couldn't figure out how to pay, even with our Alipay.
Yeah.
Someone got up out of their seat and showed us exactly how to do it. It's so helpful.
Actually 2 times yesterday, and then people in restaurants. So the people here will help you if they can, which we really appreciated. Also, we absolutely loved how easy it was to travel China in general. We used trip.com to book trains, and also another thing was the value for money that China gives you. The hotels that we got, like the standard that we got for the price we paid, was next level.
We never paid more than £40 per night.
The value for money is incredible. The train prices, the prices for food, everything was so affordable. We couldn't believe it. So I can't speak highly enough about China, and you guys have to get it on your bucket list immediately.
And that is officially the end of this China series, at least. We want to thank you guys so much for watching and coming along on the journey with us. Make sure you click this video because YouTube thinks you're going to love it.
Woohoo! And we will see you guys in the next video.
Okay, bye-bye.
偷偷告诉大家，我最近发现了新法宝 Royal Face 逆时奇迹系列，它有活肤露、全效精华，还有精华霜。尤其我皮肤比较偏干，所以我非常的注重保湿。保湿做得好，肌肤自然烹饪。提亮肤色更年轻，抚平皱纹超有感，而且气色变好。用心保养，每天都更美一点。美吧。